Hello, everyone. Well, it's almost top of the hour, so I'm just gonna kind of give it a couple of more minutes before I officially get started, just to give folks enough time to get sorted and log online. So it is officially 1 o'clock, and it's Monday, and I am Jay Villar, welcoming you to another rendition of Healthy Cooking with Jay. So I am so pleased to have you with us once again on our Monday channel, and just very excited about all the things that are happening so far now that the weather is getting a little warm, and things looking forward to for our gardening and hopefully seeing everyone back on the farm in the near future. So stay tuned to our website, Newton Community Farm, for more information around like what's happening with us, with the farm, and all those great details that are on there. But in the meantime, you have me on Mondays at 1 o'clock, and look forward to always being with you today. And don't forget, on Wednesdays, you have Hope, where she teaches you about gardening and principles and philosophies around gardening. And on Fridays, we have Story Time with Sue, who reads some great stories for the kids, just around gardening as well as plants, and just really great storybooks. So hope that you continue to join in our programming. And great. And for those of you who are new to our channel, know that you can interact with us through our chat box. So it's either here or here, depending on kind of how you're looking at it. But please ask questions as we go through. This is way more fun for me when it's interactive. So today, I want to have a great conversation and a lesson around food waste and what food waste is, how you could be part of the solution in helping solve it, and also what you can do with varying foods to make sure that you're not just wasting it as you buy it. So a couple of statistics around food waste is that the average American throws away 209 to 224 pounds of edible food each year. So on average, that's me, that's you, that's everyone, where we're just literally throwing food away. And in the US, is if we wasted 5% less food, we would have enough to feed over 4 million Americans. And if we actually up that to 15% of food less wasted, that equals about 25 million. We waste around 40% of food in the US every year, which means that it's never eaten. And 30 to 50% of the food that makes it to the supermarket shelves is thrown away in the homes of people that actually purchase it. So that's us going to the grocery stores, finding food that we have all the intention to eat, but it ends up being thrown away. And in 2010, discarded food represented the largest component of municipality waste that reached our landfills every year. So that's not even food that's going into our compost. That's just food that's being added into our landfills, which doesn't get composted properly, that can then actually be turned back into healthy soil. So there's lots of things that that folks can work on and do to minimize their food waste. Some of those things are, one, having a plan and making sure that you are buying food that you know that you're going to be making for yourself either that day or that week. Two is any food that you feel as if it's going to go bad, to start, putting those into recipes excuse me, that day, or being able to freeze it for future recipes. And a third tip is, if you know you're not going to be eating the food and you can't have the food, instead of throwing away, make sure that you compost it. And what I have learned is that a lot of people throw away food that is quote unquote ugly. So ugly food is, food that we see that we think, oh, like it's probably not going to be good because it has like blemishes on it. It doesn't look, perfect the way that, a magazine food would look like. So we don't think that it's going to, taste as good as it's going to be, where in fact it is probably just going to be just equally as tasty if you just know how to prepare it correctly. So, and also not feeling as if you need to discard ugly food just because it doesn't look appealing, pun intended, and you'll be able to use it in new ways. So in today's lesson, what I'm going to show you is a quote unquote ugly food, and how to turn that into 3 yummy and delicious recipes that you could use in your repertoire. So the ugly food that I'm going to be showing you today is a carrot. So this is a pretty hearty carrot, and by the looks of it, it looks pretty dingy, right? So it got some spots on it. It's pretty sort of like bruised here and there, but inside this carrot, it has all the nutrients that any other carrot that is like perfectly unblemished would have. But from the look of it, people think, oh, like it's not a good carrot, I'm just going to throw it away, or I'm not going to purchase it, or I'm not going to buy it. Where in fact, you can do so many things with this carrot. And what I'm going to do today is give you 3 really easy recipes that you can think about when you come across foods, in our case like this little carrot. So I'm going to show you 3 recipes. I'm going to show you a recipe that you can bake with, a recipe that you could use on your stovetop with, and a raw recipe. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is our baking recipe. So we're going to make cinnamon and chili carrot fries. Sounds delicious. So I have already preset my oven for 400, and I have my cast iron skillet that I'm going to be using as my baking sheet in there to make our cinnamon and chili carrot fries. So that's the first thing that you want to do when you bake with these vegetables. You want it to get into a pretty high temperature. So in our case, it's 400, and have your baking sheet in there, or in our case, the cast iron skillet, in order for it to be hot enough where it can start cooking immediately. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do in our case. So let's see if I could maneuver my little laptop here so it doesn't look too awkward. All right, so give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So we got a carrot here. I'm just going to rinse it off with some cold water in our sink. And I'm going to get my little peeler out. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut the middle part that I'm going to be using for our fries. So it just has the consistency of the size that we want. So we're just going to go ahead and peel it all around. See now? So now you can even tell that it had some like blemishes on it. Right? So Now I just cut into little dices here. And little fries would be carrot fries. Be ready to go any minute here. All right. So now, all depending on the size of fries we want, I'm just going to make a little matchstick size fries. Oops. Great, great, great. Okay, there. Okay, so now we have our little matchstick fries here. And all I'm going to do is get my little mixing bowl, put the fries in the bowl. I'm going to get my little olive oil. I'm going to get my salt. So I like using a little pink Himalayan sea salt that adds more minerals into our fries. And I'm going to add some cinnamon. I'm going to add some chili powder. And all I'm going to do is mix this up here. All right. Sounds good. And then I'm going to get my cast iron skillet that's in the oven right now. All right, so I just pulled my cast iron skillet out of my oven, and I'm simply going to add the fries into the cast iron skillet. As you can see, it's already cooking up. I need to be careful here. Hot stuff. And I'm add it back into the oven, and it's going to cook for anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. I'm not gonna, in case I finish my little show here before it goes, I'll kind of just pull it out at the end and show you what it looks like. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the rest of the carrot, not into fries, but into cubes. Little cubes here. And I have this little pot of water, move it over, that has been boiling. So now I got a pot of boiling. I'm going to take my steamer. All I'm going to do is add my little carrots here, my steamer. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let it steam. And then after it steams, I'm going to create a little honey butter sauce and put that as a topping for my steamer. So we showed you the oven where you made the fries. We got a little steamer where we're going to be making some steamed carrots and then adding some butter and honey to them. And now I'm going to show you what to do with a raw recipe. So once again, we have the end of the carrot, right? So I'm just going to cut the little butt off. And I'm just going to peel it off real quick. I'll just go half for time's sake, and just peel the carrot. Peel the carrot and cut it in half so it's easier for me to hold. See if I can. I'll do it here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply grate the carrot. So now we just have raw carrot happening. Okay, so now we have a grated carrot. And before I prepped for the show, all I did was I just took some raisins and an apple, and I just chopped the apple up. And it was just really a quarter of an apple. And I just chopped the apple up and put it into the bowl. And then I just add the grated carrots here. Now it's a great little salad, and all I'm going to do is add a little olive oil and some balsamic vinaigrette. You have a nice and easy apple, raisin, and carrot salad. Very tasty. So you have the sweetness from the raisins and the apple, and then you have the oil, flavors. Quite good. Okay, so now we check on our carrots that are steaming. Right, so it's all being steamed here. Looks good. At the angle weird. All right. So real simple, right? All you need is a little steamer. Get your water boiling, ready to go. Get a bowl. Now you would probably want this to be steamed for anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes. But for purposes of our entertainments and not just having you watch me steam vegetables for the next 30 minutes, I'm just going to take it out and see that they're steamed. And I put in my little bowl here. Right? And then I'm just going to dump the water out and simply put the pot back in. And I'm going to add my little honey butter, my butter honey sauce. So take a little butter, and all you're going to do is let that butter get nice and melted. And then you're going to add a couple tablespoons of, let's say two tablespoons of honey. 1, 2. I'm just going to literally just stir it up until the honey and the butter just melt together. And it does not take very long. And that's it. And then you just take your steamed carrots, pour it over the top. And then add a little salt and pepper to taste. Salt, pepper. It's a nice and easy recipe. Steamed carrots, honey butter. So good. All right. Now, let's check on our cinnamon and chili carrot fries and see how they're looking in our oven. Look pretty great. Look like little cabbage fries. Still got the crunch. The cinnamon is great on there. And a little spice with chili. So these are quite good. But liquid sure use a little bit more oven. So typically you want them in there for about 20-25 minutes, just to get them nice and crispy. This little guy got a little short, so he came a little quicker. So I like my fries a little bit on the charred side, which is brings a lot of that extra flavor out. So yeah, so that's the big lesson for today. It's really about kind of looking at your food, knowing that for like food waste and food that you have in your fridge, there's always a way that you could turn it into a recipe using your oven, using your stove, or making it raw. Just really hope that this kind of like inspires you to really think about, how you could, reuse or use some of the food that you have out there. Carrots being a really great example in all of this. So that's my little quick short program for today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Once again, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. And you look forward to Hope's program on Wednesday around gardening, and then Sue on Friday around storytelling. So till then, hope you guys have a great week, and look forward to seeing you next Monday. Take care.